The state of New Jersey in the United States is often thought to be a densely populated state throughout. Known for its famous Jersey Shore and Atlantic Boardwalk, the state is perhaps one of the least places in the United States one would expect a legendary cryptid to reside. However, in the southern part of the state resides the New Jersey Pine Barrens, a massive 1,700 square mile forest that is largely untouched by the outside world. Stretching across 7 New Jersey counties, the area is mostly rural and has a long, rich history. European settlers came to the area in the 17th century and claimed the area. In this section, a monster is said to roam, one that residents have told for generations and generations. This entity is known as the Jersey Devil, and the story of this creature dates back to the 1700s. The Jersey Devil, sometimes called the Leeds Devil, is described typically as having the body similar to a kangaroo, with the head of a dog. It's said the face resembles a horse, and the creature has large, leathery wings, along with small arms and either horns or antlers, similar to those of a deer. Some say it has a forked or pointed reptilian tail and intimidating claws. It is said the creature lets out a blood-curdling scream that can be heard for miles. While many quickly dismiss the Jersey Devil as mere folklore, over the years there has been a number of sightings in the Pine Barrens area. One of the more famous people to see the Jersey Devil was Joseph Bonaparte, older brother of Napoleon Bonaparte. According to Joseph, he spotted the creature while hunting on his estate in 1820. Stephen Decatur was a U.S. naval officer and commodore. It is said that Decatur took a trip to Hanover Mill Works to ensure his cannonballs were being manufactured correctly. During his trip, Decatur spotted the winged creature and fired a cannonball at it, but missed. In the 1840s, there were a number of strange livestock killings around Pine Barrens. A year later, more strange mutilations occurred, and this time witnesses found 3-toed tracks and also heard the scream of the Jersey Devil. While other sightings occurred in the 1800s, in the early 1900s is when sightings of the creature would really spike. In 1909, during the week of January 16th through the 23rd, there were hundreds of sightings published in local papers. This is truly when the creature went from a small, local legend to a national story. Some of the interesting sightings include the creature attacking a trolley car in Haddon Heights and then flying off. Also, a social club in Camden the creature attacked one night. Allegedly, during this incident, police fired at the creature but missed. Strange footprints were found in the snow consistently during this period. These mysterious footprints went over fences, through fields and backyards, and across the rooftops of homes. Eventually, sightings were occurring in other states as well, too, including Maryland and Delaware. As more reports came in, widespread panic ensued throughout the Delaware Valley, and schools closed and workers stayed home. Men joined up to hunt the creature and search for it. However, tracking the creature was especially difficult because the dogs refused to follow its scent. There were sightings in Philadelphia, and the zoo there even offered a reward for its capture. The entire week, people said that their livestock, mainly chickens, were being mutilated. The cities with the most reports were the towns of Bridgeton and Millville. During this time, the name of the creature switched from the Leeds Devil to the Jersey Devil. While this chaotic and frightening week was surely the peak of Jersey Devil mania, it wouldn't be the last of the sightings. Years later, in December 1925, a farmer saw a strange animal trying to steal his chickens and shot at it. He killed the creature, but couldn't identify just what it was. He asked around, but no one could ID the type of animal. On July 27, 1937, an animal with red eyes was seen by residents of Downingtown, Pennsylvania. Many compared it to descriptions of the Jersey Devil. In 1951, a group of boys from Gibbstown, New Jersey, alleged to see a monster matching the description of the Jersey Devil. Then, in the 1960s, there were many tracks, and many heard the sound of the scream of the devil around Mays Landing. Sightings and reports would continue of the creature up to present day. There's countless stories of non-believers camping out in the woods in Pine Barrens and hearing a strange, high-pitched scream in the middle of the night. Other reports indicate that strange tracks can still be found in the remote parts of the Pine Barrens. Unlike many cryptids, the Jersey Devil is believed to have an origin. While many will say the origin story is just folklore, there's actually interesting evidence that ties to it. There's not one consensus as to how the legend of the Jersey Devil began, but there are several popular ones. The first, and often most referenced background story, goes back several hundred years to the 1700s. There was a Pine Barren resident known as Jane Reeds, also known as Mother Leeds, who became pregnant for the 13th time. Her husband was allegedly a drunk, and the family was not wealthy. It's said that as Mother Leeds found out about becoming pregnant again, she became extremely upset and yelled, "Let this one be a devil." A few months later, on a stormy night, surrounded by family and midwives, a baby was born. The first few minutes the baby was born, it appeared healthy and normal. However, in minutes, that would change. The curse Mother Leeds had put on the baby had came true. The body started transforming. Horns came from the top of the head, as well as claws through its fingerprints. Leathery wings came from its back and hair, and feathers came all over the body. Its eyes began glowing bright red as they grew larger. The beautiful boy was now a hideous creature. It let out an ear-piercing shriek, and the monster attacked its own mother and killed her. Then it went after the other midwives, dismembering them horrifically. The creature then knocked down the door, and in the next room, it attacked the father and siblings, killing as many as it could. The children who survived lived to tell the tale and watched in horror as the animal climbed up the chimney and then flew off into the night. It is said ever since, the creature has lived in the remote regions of the Pine Barrens. Interestingly, records have shown that a woman with the last name Leeds lived during this time and had 12 children. According to documents, Deborah Leeds could be the real Mother Leeds, as her husband's will lists 12 children in a document written in 1736. This family resided in Leeds Point, where many sightings of the creature have occurred. Still, there's other theories as to who the Jersey Devil could be, and not everyone is convinced by this story. Over the years, there's been several theories as to what the Jersey Devil is or was. The first theory says it was a strange bird, perhaps something undiscovered and something reclusive. Many say smaller birds, like the sandhill crane, could be the Jersey Devil, but it's tough to imagine that people could confuse the sandhill crane for something like the Jersey Devil. Others point to the issue with witness testimony. One outdoorsman went camping in the woods, covered himself with mud to repel mosquitoes, and he reported that people who saw him mistook him for the Jersey Devil. This could be an extreme example of mistaken identity, though. Some say the Jersey Devil is simply a product of folklore and people getting swept up in the mania. With so many witnesses, it's tough to think so many people blatantly lied or exaggerated an encounter. One theory has to do with the land itself. Described as inhospitable land, the area attracted the poor and outcasts of society, such as poor farmers, fugitives, and moonshiners in the 19th century and before. Pineys, or residents of the Pine Barrens, were often thought of in a negative light. Many think that due to the area being dangerous, it helped inspire the legend. Still, others think the Jersey Devil is something else. Some believe it is supernatural in nature, perhaps a demonic entity. Others think it could be extraterrestrial, or perhaps from a parallel universe. There's various reports, and many who believe Bigfoot is from another dimension. Sometimes orbs and bright lights are seen around Bigfoot sightings. To date, there are many questions and theories surrounding the Jersey Devil. Questions include, why are there so many sightings but no apparent evidence? Also, if it isn't real, why have there been so many reports? Surely some are mistaken identities, but many of these reports came from honest people that have spent their whole lives in the area. They are familiar with the wildlife and sounds of the forest. While there are many skeptics out there are also many believers. The state of New Jersey has embraced this legend, though. To date, it's the most popular in the state by far, with the New Jersey Devil festivals, a professional sports team named after the creature, a roller coaster, and many who continue to venture into the Pine Barrens in search of answers. This creature has had a long, eventful history, but something tells us its story is not fully written.